I'm humble. I'd like to make a motion to recommend Bach for the chairman of the board, the Parks Board. I'd like to get a vote on it, start the meeting.
You'd have to have a
So
second.
move. Tanya, second.
So it seems, looks like we got him. Trade territory.
All right. Roll call. We kind of skipped over that. Here's Coach Walker.
Hey, you.
Just real quick. Hey.
Hello. There you
So
go.
just to introduce myself.
Hi,
and then,
Coach.
Mr. Sandler.
Okay.
So, you want to call out real quick?
No, I'll do it right after this.
Okay.
So we'll go with the roll call.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. We got Coach Walker, so everybody's present. Next is citizen participation, but we also have our own figures here that we'd like to introduce and let them have to say. So, yes, sir.
President Board, Randall Aragon, I'm your police chief and interim city manager. So if you have any problems with me, just contact the city manager. And
You go.
I'm back on Recycle. You probably remember me from before. I'm glad to be back. I'm very honored to be back. And as the mayor said, we're going to make the Marque the safest city in the state of Texas. And that's one of my goals. And I'm trying to do the best I can in managing the city until we get a city manager. So it might be 3 or 4 months. With that, I want to say we have behind me our interim public works director, Rick Saylor. Rick's got about 3 decades of experience in public works and you name it. He talked to me today. He said things I didn't even understand as far as public works. So he's my right hand for that, our right hand. So Rick, you want to come up here and say a few words?
Hi, I appreciate the opportunity. And as Chief Aragon said, here to manage public works, give some leadership, work with Amanda, and we got a great crew and just work on improving things around the city, water, sewer, streets, stormwater, and take a little while to get my feet planted, but we'll do you a good job. And the parks, take care of
Yeah.
the parks too.
Anybody got any questions for Mr. Sandler?
I guess my question is, where was your experience beforehand?
You know, I been doing water utilities since '95, came out of Colorado, worked in Kansas, utilities director, public works director, and then came down here in Texas in 2018, worked up in the Dallas Fort Worth area and latched onto this opportunity. Here I am.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I didn't fill out an application to speak, but can I approach the bench, please?
Absolutely.
Yes,
Well, he's citizen participation, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then we'll skip to this.
You know, I think most of you know me. I'm Greg Cornett. I just resigned from the planning and zoning as chairman on that, and I've been on Board of Adjustments before. I'm the acting president for the Lions Club. And I run the Snow King right around the corner, and I've put in my application to become one of your team. If it's so to be, if the council will appoint me to the board. And I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that I've applied. And so there you go. Just want to introduce myself.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Been around a long time.
Would you wish to speak?
No, she's actually on the agenda. She's on the agenda.
Oh, great, great, great. Okay, so,
Well, he always
See you
helps
next
us
time.
set up for the cook-offs. and
yes,
everything
oh, yeah,
else.
yeah. He does a lot for the community.
Yes.
Yeah, he was
All
out there
right,
marking the
well-
field with his brother.
And every year.
We'll move on to the financial report. And I spotted something right out of the way. I know we tabled it, Is it because of the charge for a doer?
Okay, so I calculated it in, the most recent, I think September. You put all the funds back in your account. If you add the June, July charges they took out, she added that back in. What happened was, they didn't reflect on the most current the last time, so you didn't see,
It's not on September and then we didn't get one for October.
oh no, the October one was good.
So it's not on the September one.
If you, yes,
If you do the calculations, it's there.
Okay, I think he's saying it's just not in
The bottom?
the
Well,
bottom part.
It was 30,000. We were supposed to split it with
Yeah.
the city, right?
yeah, but
Yes. But you didn't pay 15,000 up front. You only paid, I think it was 12,000, 13,000.
13, and then they charge us again for 9,200.
But it's charged
So
another
it's about
nine.
$7,000 to $8,000 overcharge on our part.
well, she put it all back in your account until we figure out what
Yeah.
the deal is with the Dura.
Okay.
But I calculated it before we started this meeting,
Mhm.
and both those charges, the 13,875 and the 9,250
Mhm.
is added right back in your fund. You just have to sort of broke it down, but if you add,
Are you, so the amount that it,
this is the right.
oh,
total,
So I see what you're
this
saying.
includes the new donation, so it should be the 53, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
There's, yeah, 59.
Yeah.
Because if you look, one of them was what, 36,000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now your total is 53. Yeah, Susie added,
She put money in and then 6,500 came out for the awnings.
Right,
That was
right.
installed that y'all made a motion to approve.
Right.
Okay. So that's where it dropped back from 59 to 53.
Yes.
right, yes. all right.
So we should be back to where we're supposed to be.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything is correct, right?
So what you're saying, Venetia, is, okay, we're back up to 53, but at some point, when she catches up with her accounting, they should subtract 15 out of that. Because that's what we
That's what you
committed.
agreed to.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. So eventually,
And
somewhere
they
down the
may-
road.
They may change it
Okay.
and
May not.
the city eat the cost instead of the parks
Mhm.
board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just don't know which direction that's going right now, with all new administration, all new council. So,
Yeah, gotcha.
we have no idea. My understanding is they'll have that figured out. Which is- Yeah, after the tax rollback election, so- because that's what she's busy working on right now.
Well, I
Right
get you.
now, our air's on it, so.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
You know, we
What
may
happened
have
to
to
the one
see,
we just,
I mean, 'cause
just it was.
no one knows.
Well, I mean, I would
No,
expect the
we
city
don't-
just to
we
hold
don't
up to their part.
exactly.
You know, we pay
No.
15 like we promised, and if it's
Yeah. but
over
I guess
30
somebody
total,
else
then the
can-
city just pick up the extra.
Then
Right.
that's the him.
And that's
So-
what was, that's
No,
what was
nobody
agreed
can.
to.
Yeah.
I
If
thought
any
they
more
gave
than
them
that got
the
charged, everybody
pay
shouldn't have.
that they-
So,
Okay.
Right.
Police and-
but
Oh, not
just,
them.
just when all in all is said and done and, everybody gets put into play where they're gonna be at, it would be nice to actually have a sit down and a meeting with them and review this and then
Gotcha.
have a final discussion one last time.
And I'll actually pull the minutes for those meetings and present them to Susie and.
Yeah, because y'all know y'all approved it. It's
Yeah.
just,
Right.
there was confusion on Susie, she doesn't come to these meetings,
Mhm.
on her behalf, as well as some of the council members had concerns as well. So that's why I said, let her finish doing what she's doing with the tax stuff, the tax rollback, and then
Gotcha.
this, we'll put this on her agenda.
So from now on, any charges that we get, they'll do, it won't come out of our thing until they decide.
For
if-
Adura.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, that's
So-
what I'm
Yes,
talking
yes,
about.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay,
Down the line, this 53 might get
right,
hit.
right, yeah,
Total at max of 15,000.
yeah.
So 15, 38, something
I
like that.
got a question, excuse my ignorance, but who is the Arduro group?
That's
people
the
that-
engineers that came, spoke to us.
Huh?
That's the grant engineers or people putting the grant thing together.
Those
That's
guys
Mark's
that was
plan.
up there at that table, we were.
Yeah, okay.
We agreed to it last year because
Okay.
when Tink was here, he said it'd be cost around $30,000. And we had voted and agreed, split it. We'd pay 15,000 and the city would pay 15,000.
Okay.
And that's what these charges were taken out and kind of excessive, but then she put it back in without showing a line at him. I see the math, but, so that's what the question was. So is there any, we had tabled it last time and I don't, it might have been because of that.
It was.
And so, I mean, are everybody in understanding what is
Yeah.
going on now? We want to approve it?
Yeah, that's why we.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the
June, July,
reports.
yeah, all four of
For July, August, and September.
them. June, July,
Oh,
August, September. Yeah,
Oh, for all,
June,
yeah.
July.
I'll second that motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Doesn't pass.
Just to highlight on one more thing.
Oh,
So,
it's in the new business. Yeah. Oh, yeah. that's right.
ignore me. Carry on, carry on. It's a long day.
Amen.
I have one question. We didn't get any minutes of the last meeting in this package.
Yes, you will have sets of 3 minutes next first board meeting. Okay,
We'll have what?
3 sets of 3 minutes.
Oh,
because
3
we
sets
have-
of 3
yes,
minutes. Okay,
And you all approve at one time if everything's correct.
okay.
Okay, just bear with me.
Everybody's playing five people's roles right now, so we're still trying to play catch up. It's a mess.
All right.
Let's generally, they're kind of reversed, but if it's okay with y'all, let's switch. and skip over 5 right now and go to 6B, so we can talk to later.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So we're skipping to 6B, which is, this young lady here is going to discuss about the softball coming back to Marque.
All right.
Hello, my name's Rochelle Davila. I am a Lamar president, but I'm also president of Texas City Girls Youth Softball. Being a Lamar resident and a mother of myself and also play softball for many years, I want to bring that back here. And ideally, I would like for it to, or majority of us would like for it to go back to Mayhem Park where girls softball originally was. What that looks like, and if y'all don't mind, I actually printed up something for y'all to give y'all more of a visual. I printed up our current 2021 memorandum of understanding that we have with Texas City to kind of give an idea of what the Softball Association and the city will work together in partnership.
I'd like to see you back.
Is this softball or just girl softball?
This is girls softball, but we currently also have a co-ed T-ball division, which actually is the biggest division in Galveston County.
Really? Okay, cool.
And then also to give y'all a little, I put a copy of with the city working with the league, that would also mean that USA Softball will cover the city under their insurance policy while the league is utilizing the fields. So if somebody were to be injured, get hurt, something happened, the city of Lamar would be covered under the insurance policy for any lawsuits or anything like that. Like I said, I'm a Lamar resident. My daughter, goes to school here. She will be a future Lamar High School Cougar. I work very closely with the high school coaches as well and want to give Lamar a awesome softball team that will be extremely competitive in the future by the time my daughter gets to high school, but at the same time, just to help the local youth in the community. When I took over 4 years ago, Texas City's league almost died with only 66 players. Today, we have 298 players.
Great.
And actually 40% of those players are Lamar residents. So with that, and a lot of them are like, are you still going to do? I go, that is my goal. If it takes me till I'm old and gray, it will happen. But that is my goal, is to bring Lamar Girls Softball Association back to the city of Lamar. And of course, that's going to be steps on our part. We would have to recreate the nonprofit organization since we are a nonprofit, and do those legal steps. But I had to do it when I took over because apparently Texas City had lost it for many years. So I kind of feel like I can do it all over again real simply.
So would the Lamar players now just move over here?
Yes. So the difference between USA Softball and Little League International, the boys league, is with softball, we are not zoned to the districts that we live in. The only way we're zoned is by county. So, for example, my child is a Lamarck resident, but she plays for Texas City. With the boys' little league, you have to get a waiver in order to play for your different zones. We have girls that play from Bayshore, Galveston, Santa Fe, Hitchcock, Lamarck, they all play for Texas City. So yes, those Lamarck girls and even those West Texas City players and some of the East Texas City players are actually looking forward to moving over.
Okay. How many do you think would be moved? Like, everything lines up, you get everything rocking. and
Yeah.
rolling. How many roughly do you think will automatically be moving over? Do you?
At least 50%.
Okay.
I honestly think at least 50%.
50% of children's or 50% of the teams?
50% of the total amount of registered players.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the age group?
So we started the division. So, and it is the biggest division in Galveston County out of girls and boys. So that starts at as young as 3 through the ages of boys 5 to give them that opportunity to go ahead and start working on those T-ball skills. Girls also start at young age, and girls go all the way up to 14. Now, just because they're 14 and they age out doesn't mean we forget about them. My husband actually started a junior coaching program for these girls that aged out, and now they're coaching the younger divisions. And we have 2 girls now doing that who are looking to get scholarships to college to be softball coaches.
Mentorship kind of.
And at the same time, so, we've had people come, hey, we've had our child get into some trouble and need to do community service, send them on over. Because they're gonna clean up the park, we're gonna keep them active. And the same thing about hiring the teenagers to work in the concessions. Keep them busy, keep them out of trouble.
I have another question.
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Rochelle Davila.
What's your last name?
Davila, it's Davila. Now, I know when there was the parks tour, I went to Mayhem. I understand Mayhem needs a lot of work to even get up to standard, what would even us or any organization will want to. But I did want to speak with y'all and approach y'all, since those were the original softball fields that I feel like myself and the volunteers that would be coming with me could definitely rebuild that. Lamarck girls softball used to be the biggest league in this whole district. And then it just dissipated. Well, same thing almost happened in Texas City, and we were able to stop that. So we feel like we could restart Lamarck from the ground up and rebuild it just to be just as big, if not bigger than Texas City.
Okay.
Only thing I see, which you have a great proposal, but is we have hardly no budget. And in the past, when we leased it out, I guess you'd say, they did the maintenance 100%. Now, understand, we're in the process, and it's going to be a couple of years down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Applying for a grant to upgrade all the parks, and it would be new lighting, new facilities there, but at this time, we don't have the money really, so that would be we got a little bit of money, maybe with the board's permission, we can maybe meet your organization halfway on some of the costs, like the lights or something like that, but.
And we have thought about that, because we currently do not pay for lights in Texas City. The city does. And we do understand that with the possibility of restarting Lamarck, that is going to be a cost on the league's part.
Yeah, because that's always been another deal, is that location has its own meter. And whichever organization would take it over, they have the power put in their name.
Yeah.
So,
And,
go ahead.
and they control the lights for those facilities, which is getting down about 1 now. There's 2, 3, but it's pretty much down to 1. And but like I say, we'll have to look at the cost, and you'll have to, we don't have the budget like Texas City does.
No, and I completely understand that. And everything good takes time. Rome was not built in a day. And I did, and I have been coming forward that, and a lot of people see me on Facebook as a softball lady, because I'm always posting softball. I'm actually headed to my daughter's practice as soon as I leave here. My husband had to take her, but things take time. And I understand, yes, we're, Lamarck is not at the financial caliber as Texas City is
Correct.
because of all the plans. I
Mhm.
completely understand that. But I also just wanted to put a bug in your ear that there is a local organization wanting to put something there for our youth, which if we keep our youth active, that'll help keep our crime numbers down.
Correct,
It's a
correct.
big thing. And at the same time, it also brings revenue to the city. I will say, I will invite every single one of you to come drive by our Texas City Fields this weekend. We are doing a tournament, and it's actually a small tournament, but you're gonna see, but we have Lake Jackson teams coming, and they're getting hotels to stay
Yeah,
local
yeah.
because we're hosting a tournament this
Yeah.
weekend. What it
Um,
also can bring for the city as far as hotel revenue, as far as groceries, fast food, things like that.
Now, I have a question,
Mhm.
because I worked in hospitality for a long time. Does your organization reach out to hotels and kind of make partnership deals with them so you can say to well, we have a rate with them, a
Yes.
discounted rate with them, y'all already.
Yes,
do that?
yes, we do that. A few years ago, we hosted the World Series type of tournament, a Gold Cup in Texas City, and we worked with the local hotels in the area in Texas City, Lamarque, League City to have the tournament teams use these hotels at a discounted rate
Okay.
rather than wanting to pay more to go play in Galveston.
I think that's probably true for out of towners. They decide which hotels they want to utilize, and they work with the hotel manager to get a discounted rate for.
And even in the same sense, we try to work with our local municipalities as well. The tournament we're hosting this weekend, each child has to bring 2 unwrapped toys, and those toys are being donated to the Lamarque and the Texas City Blue Santa organizations.
Oh, great.
That's part of their entry fee. So just because we are a nonprofit organization ourselves, we try to think as everybody as a whole. So when we host our own tournaments that are specifically TCGYS, we try to give back to the community. Last year, we did a food drive. So this year, we're wanting to help with toys and to continue to help. Yes, I'm a Lamarque resident, so I always try to stick Lamarque in there. And, we're all Texas City ISD, so it's kids from all over. And so that's how we're trying to help this year.
Great. So I know the mayor and one of the councilmen have been working. Is
Michael.
y'all the ones that have been,
Yes,
your
It's
group is the
me.
one? Okay, great.
it's
Just
me.
Make sure we're all on the same page.
Yes.
Okay.
It was at the tour that we were doing, and we were talking about all of the.
Okay.
That would be exciting.
And of course, yes, I understand it's gonna take a lot of money. It takes a lot, it's gonna take time. Everybody keeps asking me, I go, oh, I'm looking like at 2 and 5 years. I'm hoping before
Yeah.
Sophia ages is out of the division, my child, but that's with how much money, time, investment that's gonna need into that park. That's honestly what I'm looking at.
How long is your season going on right now?
So we have multiple seasons. So we have our normal spring season that runs from February to the end of April, first week of May. Then first week of May, All-Star season starts. And so that goes through all summer long. Then we have fall ball season, which begins in August and goes all the way to the last weekend of November or the first weekend in December.
So
So we're really year round.
So how, I guess, question is how much longer do y'all have a contract with Texas City?
No, there's no contract. We just have that agreement, that memorandum of understanding. Every year we renew it. Like in a couple of weeks where I will meet up with the athletic coordinator and the park superintendent at Tarpey Park. We'll go over things, and if there's any issues, we've noticed like the electrical needs to be replaced. The
Yeah.
league's looking to possibly we're financially preparing ourselves to replace that ourselves because we have had to do that. But we also ask the city first because between our agreement, it is their responsibility. But sometimes we want things done quicker.
Yeah.
We'll just pay for it out of the league's pocket.
I think that it's been a while since we had softball out there in Mayhem Park. We welcome you guys.
Yes.
One of the things that we require is that you sign a contract with the city of Lamarque and also required to submit an insurance policy.
She has that.
I don't think you'll
paperwork.
have a problem with that.
No, because all the leagues in the whole county, Santa Fe,
Mhm.
Dickinson, everything, they're all covered under USA Softball District 31, because we're District 31. Under District 31, we have, I think we believe we changed insurance companies this year, but we have our own year-round insurance that goes from September 1st to August 31st. And it covers every child, it covers buildings, it covers facilities, people, everything. It would cover the city, it would cover the league, it would cover the children.
That contract that you will submit to Marque will give you the sole rights to use that park
Yes, sir.
and also the responsibility.
And we currently, my husband is also a board member through the league, so he's currently the maintenance director, so he's the one mowing, weed eating, even fixing the small things to try not to bother the city, issues with the toilets or something minor, we'll fix it ourselves before we actually try to bother the city. Most of the time, I only bother the city right now currently is for this weekend, I need a light schedule. I need lights till 1 a.m. Saturday, or technically Sunday morning, but
If you go out and you check the playing fields, and if you need in the sand, we will provide that sand for you to fill in. or
oh,
whatever.
okay. And see, and that's something more that Texas City does not do.
Yeah.
So if we want to have to put in more sand and more dirt, that's something we pay for out of our own pocket.
So you just let us know what you need out there. What we will do is, what we're required to do is.
Yeah, we're working on some different things to try to fundraise, but of course, without approval first, to try to even fix up the Mayhem Park ourselves, what we can do.
Yeah.
And you can have memorandums of understanding at the same time with different cities, yeah.
Yes,
To
because
discuss anything.
I've been asked that too. They're like, oh, well, are you bringing Texas City? I go, no, I'm not bringing Texas City
Right.
over. I'm starting a separate organization. And yes, there are going to be people coming over, but I still want Texas City to continue to grow. And once Lamarque is up off the ground, I will officially resign from Texas City and only be Lamarque board.
That's what you're saying. Well, like I say, the biggest thing right now is the cost. Because I guess we'd have to work together, and so there's no sticker shock to y'all
Oh, no.
about what it would cost to get one or two of the fields up to, safe working playing conditions, and then at least one of them have lights. There's lights there, but
And we've
They
even
pretty much
mentioned the
need to be-
possibility of utilizing Bobby Beach, some of their fields as well, because we currently right now have 4 fields, and that is not enough for what we have right now. We have over 20 teams,
Mhm.
and they're doubling up on practices. So to try to utilize time, especially with the time change,
Yeah.
so we have lights.
yeah, and like she's,
The electrical don't work out there at all.
Oh, no, yeah, it needs to be
No.
completely redone.
The baseball fields, the fencing, because I met Barry out there several months ago, it's 25,000 per field.
and
So that's backstops and everything. It's a lot, and that's the reason why we proposed it for the Parks Master.
the master grant, which is, so I guess that's what we're trying. We have goals, but
Of course.
grants and all that are a few years down the road. And
Absolutely.
whether y'all be satisfactory in, patching it or whatever we can do to work together with y'all, because I know it's,
Well, before we say that, because we talked to TML, they have to give us TML has to go out there and do a site inspection. So they'll give us what's considered a liability
Gotcha.
issue, this and that, what's considered safe and not safe,
Mhm.
what the city will have to do before they re-inspect it and allow kids onto the field to play.
correct. So,
Because of the condition that they're in.
Then-
So where Chris reached out to them a couple weeks ago, we won't meet with them for the site inspection until after the new year.
so it sounds like anything at best case scenario, you might make it for your May league or whatever. But
Oh, no, I'm, to be totally frank, I'm not looking for it for, like I said, a couple of years to
Oh,
even
okay.
start anything out
Okay.
there. That it is gonna take time, both parts, whether the city's gonna do some of the remodeling or the league would do some of the remodeling. So, yeah, like I said, I know it's gonna take time.
Okay, gotcha now. I understand. We're on the same page. But yeah, we're more than welcome to have you back there. Been wanting something back in the city for the kids to do.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, yes, we are a girls softball league, but I've help teenagers with community centered boys. I have a couple boys that work in our concessions. One of them's autistic. So just trying to give different avenues for the teenagers to keep them out of trouble.
So you said that y'all, because Bobby Beach is actually a private entity. It's not part of
Yes.
our park system. Y'all actually share or do. some
I've
games
actually
over there?
worked with DJ quite a bit to try to help him regrow that league as well. And he has actually offered, well, why don't you move the league over here? I told him because honestly, with what I'm bringing over here won't fit. Between his league and just with what I would be bringing will not fit at those two fields. And that's pretty much, and I told him I'm kind of a stickler of the rules. So I've followed everything to the T. Our state
Mhm.
commissioner, he's my mentor,
Yeah,
and I call him for everything to make sure that I'm following everything to the T.
okay. Well, we see where you're coming from, and like I say, we'll just keep moving forward and see what we can. together we can make that
Absolutely.
happen.
Well, I really appreciate y'all inviting me to come and speak with y'all and at least to tell you a little bit about my passion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Y'all have a wonderful
We
evening.
can't wait.
Thank you so much, man. Yes.
Did you wish to speak?
Long time waiting.
Mhm.
Boy, that girl softball used to be big.
I
Mhm.
know it, my friend of mine used to coach the girls.
You're welcome. Shoot me a text. I answer text better than the phone call. Okay. All right. Y'all have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye, you
It's on the
too.
same thing she owned. First, my name is Arlisha Musso. I grew up in Lamarck and I graduated at Dickinson High School. So I'm 27, I'll be 28 in December. Basically, I want to bring back something back for Lamarck too, because I know everybody, like, it's a lot of crimes going on, especially dealing with stuff that happened to my kids, uncles and stuff that's in the street. So I'm really there, you know. And then what we want to do, I'm really close to God for one. We want to bring a talent show. I know y'all know Miss Yancey. I deal with one of her sons. We all in the ministry together. So I was like, damn, I need Yancey. I need you to get your mom to help us because I see she been doing events too, like the no gun violence movement. We're trying to do that too. We're trying to also put it on the map from the radios and different places. I have a our natural business, so I'm also trying to get that off the ground. And we're just trying to put it all together to get the kids off the street. It's so crazy because yesterday I had ran into ATO out of nowhere. And I ended up talking to him and I was like, I told him about the ideas I want to do. And they all with it. They want to do something because they don't have nothing. Like we grew up, I had a dance studio over there, right here, House of Dance. I danced when I was growing up. Nobody have that no more. So I want to bring a studio close to here when the time come, but I know what we trying to do is we want to do a fundraiser to start with the youth, like go do car washes or just find different ways to make money for these the event on Lamarck period, because we want to bring stuff back to Lamarck. It's nothing here for us no more. So I want to like first start off with child to see what can I go from, like what can I do, because I know y'all, we have to start with a fundraiser ourselves in order to get the money coming in, like raffles, we want to do a raffle, like I'm gonna buy a TV and then we have the raffle coming, the money coming in, so we can start an event for the youth, like probably a talent show or something to where the youth can get ready for something and then bring a lot of people out, because I want to do an outside thing. I think inside limited people, plus the money, bringing more money in. So I'm just trying, I need y'all help to help my city, because it's a lot going on. I stand close to Mayor Poster. And I was just standing in Gar Breeze. I had got some issues with Gar Breeze to where I had to go to court for it. So I came a long way in Lamarck, and I know people that stayed out there from youth and all that, they need something. So I wanna come to y'all to figure out what can I do or what's the right movement to get the youth back involved into Lamarck? Cause they're, I'm telling y'all, I didn't run into a lot of people and they're down. I don't know what to do. That's the thing for me.
Let me ask you a question, because I deal with the youth in Lamarck and I work with other organizations and schools and daycare. And we as a nonprofit have a hard time reaching the youth when we host events in the community. A lot of people are always saying there's nothing to do, but actually there is. And so I want to ask you, as someone who's out there and has access to the community, what could we do to get you guys attracted to the things that are going on in Lamarck? I know Mayor Bill has some things going on with the youth. He's trying to get his program started. So, and I know parents are working, children don't have transportation to get to and from these events. So it's kind of like a two-way conversation, because we can create these events. The problem is we're not getting the youth. So I think unless we answer that question first, then we would be able to know which direction to move in.
Okay, what type of events do y'all bring to the
We have day camps. We teach kids financial literacy. We teach kids social responsibility. There are a lot of organizations that are doing anything. The group that we have the most trouble with, 13 to 17-year-olds.
I just had an 18-year-old yesterday. He said he asked his friends, they died. See, the thing about our generation, if you know, this generation has changed.
It
They're
has.
not interested in how, well, we used to be interested in what you're saying.
Right.
So it's like, that's the thing that they be like, Nisha, how can we reach them? Because like, say if I do a talent show, a lot of people do show talent. They love that type of thing because I write music. A lot of people already said that. I know from the music industry, they'll say they're down with doing, performing and music. So it's no cursing, I'm spiritual, so no cursing, no none of that. It's kind of, that's why I have somebody at 18 who's gonna help me get to his youth people. And I asked them, what do y'all need? As being, you know, I'm the other generation. What do y'all need? What do y'all want us to listen to y'all to say? So, you know, I already told, I'm gonna get back with him tonight. And I'm gonna keep talking to him. I'm gonna keep coming to these meetings so I can figure it out, because I really want stuff to change.
Let me ask a question real quick. Would you be willing, you know, since you know that 13, it seems like you know a lot of, you know, people in that age group of 13 to 17, would you be willing to be an advocate for Tanya's fundraiser? And y'all can
They
try-
do Lemonade Day Galveston County.
Lemonade Day.
And nobody participates.
Or work with one of Keith Bell's groups to, you know, you be an advocate for that. group
He's
and bring
looking
them
for you.
in. And so get them interested. And Tanya, this is something y'all might want to talk about, but you know, like you're saying, they want to do things outside of that, something, you're gonna have to do something fun to get them involved first. And then once once they get in there, like, haha, you're stuck now, you know, but get them in there and show them that there's this group and this is what we do and we care for the community and for the kids, and, you know, show them what it's about. So, you know, like Ms. Tanya's saying, there are organizations here that are trying to do youth outreach all the time. It's
And
just
nobody
having an
wants to
advocate that
participate.
knows that group. But your idea is, like you're saying, a talent show. You know, maybe Ms. Tanya, you and Ms. Tanya can come
Work with her.
together, you know, or you and Keith Bell can come together with whatever organization he's trying to put together, and say, okay, in order to pull them in, you know, let's offer to host a talent show for the teenagers, you know, and make it a fun night. And, you know, once they're there, and just say, hey, you know, this group is, you know, trying to
bring it out, to branch out.
Yeah.
and so you branch out from
Yeah.
there.
I like that.
And so, you know, you have to get involved with what's already there.
Exactly.
first.
Connect.
And then-
So here's my question, because I'm the youngest member, so I'm hip with the kids. Just kidding, I'm totally not. What is your, how is your TikTok following? How's your TikTok game?
My TikTok is really like getting out there. You know, I have social media dealing with my product. So I be trying to go from the Instagram to TikTok and all that, but people been following me back from different places. Like my business was made in Atlanta. I went to Orlando, Florida to push out my business. So for people, different places, they're starting to come on my TikTok, but TikTok is just so much love.
But you understand. the
Yeah, I understand.
algorithm
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
And how to work. it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then you're working with 18-year-olds, because I, you know, sitting here talking, I think I found part of the issue with the connection, and it's the social media.
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
true.
Facebook, we promote, I mean, I share Miss Tanya's stuff all the time on Facebook, but Facebook is for the older generations, and I'm part of that. I say that because I'm part of that.
But you can
older
share.
generation. So,
She has multiple pages
yeah.
and the mayor is constantly, so you take an initiative on your own, get on Facebook, follow her and her different organizations. The mayor, he's right now, they had a big brothers and
And that's
sisters.
who I'm gonna defer you to, because Mayor Bill is trying to get his youth initiative out. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
And I'm stepping away so that he can get the city and the youth together, but I'm supporting everything that he does. And so anybody comes to me with anything related to the youth, that's exactly where I'm directing him to.
And I
'Cause-
also,
yeah.
and I work with him on exactly that.
Mhm.
So you'll probably be deferred back to me. So.
Yeah, but we're trying to get the gap closed, and you can help us do that. That's the biggest
So
problem.
You're in
That's
a,
why I came.
you're in a great in-between
Mhm.
because you have.
Access to the group that we don't have access to.
You follow social media wise, you understand how Facebook works and following Facebook, and you are also young enough to fully follow and participate in, because I watch all the TikToks, but I don't do the TikToks. And you, it is, but
Where is it on the agenda?
is involved in
Yeah.
TikTok. So this 18-year-old, what's his TikTok following? What's his content? How can we take this
Yes.
or the talent show and bring it to social media? You can take her events, turn them into TikTok, support them,
Yeah.
get the draw that way, and then cross,
so that, yeah.
And
So that's
Mayor
it,
Bell
basically.
and Big Brothers and Big Sisters was at the library.
They're at the
today.
library
That
right
would've been
now.
the perfect place for you to be.
I don't know about. some of
Yeah.
the
Well, that's what
organizations.
we're trying to tell you. But like she said, the older crowd is on Facebook. Is you need to start following them, and then you could share it to the other platforms, the TikTok or IG or Snapchat, whatever. But both of their organizations and what they're trying to do are all on Facebook.
If you
And-
get a group of students together, we'll come to that group and do what the mayor has already doing. He does his tours for the park board. He does his tours and all of the districts. And I know he would love to talk to the kids.
That's good.
I know
Yeah,
he
we're
would
trying
love
get
to.
Our own little youth organization.
Yeah,
together, I
yeah.
think, so we can. Cause we was the ministry, like I said, and I be telling a lot of the people around me that I've been sharing the ideas for with. And I'm like, yeah, we are the people that, I go to funerals, like I said, I'm in church, I go to funerals, it's only probably two of us up singing music. And you look at everybody else, they sit down because they don't know. So it's like, I'm like, yeah, we need to step up, especially because I'm from Marque, this is what I grew up as. Growing up in school, since third grade, they be like, City for to take over, yeah, we only in third grade, so just imagine when we finally got out of school, everything changed. We say, thank God for one that y'all actually got out of school for it. But we've been here, we've been knowing everything that's been going on since we've been in elementary. And I graduated 2012. So I know everybody in my class, my classmates from, everybody has been surrounding me since we grew up here. So yeah, I'm excited. I need to get with y'all.
Well, you've given them your information, and Tamara will definitely pass your information on to Mr. Bell.
Yes,
But you can always call me if you have any questions. And I can answer any questions you have
she is
and
great at
help you however you want to get whatever you're trying to do off the ground.
And then, because we got to move on here shortly, but
Yeah,
what I recommend is, like she said, reach out, and if you have the time, go next door. You know where the library is?
Yeah.
They're over there. He's over there right now hosting a Big Brothers Big Sisters event at the library,
yeah. They
which is on
started
the other
at
end of the
6.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
know my kids out. I'm sure.
Okay.
Thank y'all so
Mm.
much.
All righty.
let's see y'all.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Let's make a change.
We waiting for it.
Hey, ma'am.
Everybody knows the mark.
Hey,
All
hey,
right.
ma'am,
Hold
Ma'am,
on a second.
we want to congratulate you on what you're doing,
I know. Thank you so
because
much.
our youth need help. And you being a youngster, you look like a high school student. And you being a youngster, you can relate to these kids.
yeah.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna bring Lamar back on the map.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's get back to the order. So we'll start at old business number 5A.
Okay.
Amanda, that would be, y'all about the update on the Parks grant. Grant.
This is what we're gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do.
It's a back and forth kind of deal.
Because this is above my pay grade.
Okay,
I'm down here now.
I'm following you.
So, we're gonna get finance to attend
Next meeting.
next meeting.
I think we need to have finance and Alice Ashley, who worked
yeah.
on the grant,
That's the woman.
attend next meeting. She's from Louisiana, but I'm pretty sure we can get her down here.
Yeah,
And so if we can manage to get her down here for the next meeting, I would like to make a day of it because I have some other projects for public works that I would like to talk to her about. To see if, it's a possibility for some stuff that we need. So it wouldn't be a wasted day just for her to come down for a short meeting. So I will utilize her while she's here.
well,
But I think we need to have her here.
I'm sure probably most of us, if, with a little bit of notice, where it's convenient for her, we can even do a day, perhaps do a day meeting or something.
Absolutely.
Just, try to give us maybe at least a week's heads up, and it don't have to be a Thursday or next month,
Yeah.
we all can, we can just
To
call a
help
special meeting and
expedite.
meet with her,
Okay.
but, that's what I was wondering, because Susie definitely needs to be involved, but it's like y'all's grant, the big public works grant that we got, and Chase told me we don't have the money yet. We just been told we were
Yeah,
awarded.
We were awarded, it's just not
But
there.
what gets me is during the budget meetings, there was a line item and she has specifically the money. There's to me, with her being a stickler on finance, it's
You shouldn't.
it almost seems like we have the money,
Mhm.
like the
Or at
money's
least
in
give us an
hand.
update and let us know where we stand with it. But, when the money, when we get that order that's emailed to you saying, you're about to receive these funds or this grant has been approved, with it comes backup documentation
Mhm.
that at least tells you where you stand
Mhm.
at that moment.
And we're not getting
And
that.
currently, nobody knows where we are.
Well, that was
So,
my point, is
With Miss Ashley being the one that worked on the grant,
Mhm.
it would probably be better just coming from her,
Okay.
but having Susie here as backup as well, to talk about the financial portion of it. If it does hit the bank, how long, once it hits the bank, before we can actually receive the funds and utilize it. So, having both of them here during a meeting, yes, it would benefit.
Okay,
So.
let's get that set up.
That's why I said, a daytime or a regular meeting, it don't matter, because I would actually like to spend several hours with her to go over some
Mhm.
projects for public works.
You need to
And
schedule
utilize
it.
her while she's here, because I think she's what, a 5-hour drive from here? Yeah,
Yeah,
4 or 5 hour drive from
You
here.
schedule it
So-
and work out y'all's details, and just allow us 30 minutes to an hour, little meeting, but you obviously need to talk to her more than we do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things coming up, and with the new director and all new administration, there's things that we can put into play now that weren't allowed before. And Public Works could use grants for themselves for a new Public Works department, for a service center, a new laydown yard. Our building's falling apart on the guys over there.
Right.
Police department's falling apart.
Right.
So we're just having a conversation with her just to see what direction could we take.
Mhm.
Also, we know we're working on the Parks Master Plan. What we discussed when Craig and them were here, last month or during the workshop, there's certain things that's included in there, but there's some things that's not. I think you said oh my God, for the pavilion, stabilizing the pavilion, working on a master plan to stabilize that back road so it stops washing away.
Mhm.
There's things, because there's parks money available through the wildlife programs.
Well,
So, and they're the easiest to get,
where that road,
apparently.
where that road is about to fall down,
Yes.
all we gotta do is get Joe to get his deal and dump some stuff in there. Cause right at that corner, we go across the backside of the fish, it's, that last time I almost cut it out for the road.
Yes.
Joe can just go there, and get some of the rubbish and dump it in there.
Yes. And so stuff like that, but it's an issue now. We fix it now. It's going to be an issue 6 months from now. It's going to pop back up. So have her come up with some kind of plan for the park to where we could, preserve it. Just give us money so we can spend it in other areas.
Mhm.
the bulkhead, the boat ramps, that's a great thing. But there's other areas in the parks that we could utilize her for too,
Well,
as
the
far as
boat,
grants
the
are
boat, the
concerned.
boat ramp, Herb and I, redid that a few years ago.
Mhm.
And it's. and it's
That's where that
still in good
original
shape.
grant stemmed
Hell,
from.
she might even be able to come up with money to knock the pavilion down and rebuild a whole brand new one, a larger one. That's the
Well,
thing, it's
yeah.
finding, it's reaching out and talking to them and knowing what your resources are.
Well, that's a pretty good pavilion. I'd hate to see them knock it down, but it's easily fixed.
I thought I had kind of old, but I thought I had it sent it in here, but
Boat ramp,
maybe I don't see it on the agenda, but I was gonna ask you about what was granted to us for a budget this year.
30,000.
And that's just basically maintenance.
Oh, yeah, that's.
That's
item-
lawn care and
that's
stuff.
item G.
That's
I just-
item G
I just
coming up.
put parks for budget for.
Oh, that's why I
Yeah.
wasn't seeing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, if you just want to get back on
Yeah, okay.
where we left off, and
Yeah.
then we'll pick up here,
Okay.
and I can discuss that with her.
All right. The other whole business is B, and that was about the gates at the parks.
Painting
And,
the gates at Mayhem.
and the Highland Bow, were you painting them silver or your
No,
guys
we're gonna
did?
keep them silver.
Yeah, I guess they didn't prime it or whatever. The rust is coming through the silver.
Okay. So I talked to somebody about it. We gotta put a sealant coat over it.
Correct.
So we gotta paint it silver one more time, put a sealant coat over it, and then I bought red and white reflective safety tape
Correct.
that we're gonna put around there. The yellow, it's nice, but it's so thick and you keep recoating and recoating. It cost me extra because of the layers of paint that was on this thing,
Mhm.
from years of recoating. That safety paint is super, super thick. To me, I think this looks a little bit more fancier, more cleaner. So I made the decision to keep the gates silver with the reflective tape. But yes, I did talk to somebody and he said you have to go over it with a sealer.
kind of
Yeah,
sealer or
it's a
primer.
coat. And so Roy, when he comes back, that's Roy's job. That's Roy's baby. He likes to walk around the Tin Man because every time he gets done, he's silver.
Uh-huh.
But, we still got a couple more gates that we've got to get onto. It's just, it's holidays, everybody's been short-staffed. There's been a lot going on, a lot.
No,
So,
busy.
oh my God, it's unbelievable.
With no hands.
I've been here 16 years. I've never seen this.
Mhm.
So, and I keep saying, you can't surprise me. I'm surprised.
Mhm.
So, but, with Mr. Seiler that just came in, he has great ideas for public. This is the first time I've been excited like this for Public Works. And creating structure and breaking the guys up and, making them accountable for their responsibilities. And so I love it. And, talking about parks crew and making sure that they stay up with the maintenance and the upkeep like they're supposed to. So there's a lot that we're gonna put into play and I'm excited to see it happen. Something should have been done years ago. But yes, we're on the gates.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, since you brought it up about him. He's intern right now.
Yes,
Is he putting his name in a hat for a permanent job?
yes.
Okay.
Yay.
Right.
If no
Yes.
one runs him off before that. yeah.
Amen.
Don't speak of it.
Yeah. I can't-
Now we're
yeah.
coming
I
to
know
look.
that.
I
Yeah,
know
so-
that.
Now you open up a can of worms already.
I just want to throw this out there because for the first time in a long time, we actually have a director that knows infrastructure
Mhm,
and knows water and sewer and actually holds a license.
mhm.
So he knows what he's talking about when he talks. And so it's exciting. I'm
Who
excited.
Great, great.
responsible for the city contractors that are replacing the lines throughout the city?
They're responsible for themselves.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
just
no.
like,
No,
no.
like, I mean, like, by
Are you
responsible, I
talking
mean,
about
like,
the
who-
text dot expansion?
No, I'm talking
or-
about like the city, like in the streets.
So so if I hire a contractor to go out and repair a water sewer line,
Yeah.
that would be me. That
Well,
responsibility.
if you hired those contractors, I gotta say, I had them working on right in front of my house all week, last couple weeks. I'm very happy with them. They are very professional, a little unprofessional, but goofy in a fun way. And they cleaned up their mess. And whoever hired them, whoever these contractors are, I'm really happy with them. So
Oh,
as
Benson,
a,
right?
yeah. As a,
What were they replacing?
Where were they?
oh, no.
What street are you on?
Well, there's so many
Benson.
jobs going on.
Oh,
and
Yeah,
so many
they have a bunch of
contractors.
contractors all over the city.
They were replacing, they laid out new water lines
Android.
Andrew. Okay,
and they're, yeah, because I had this huge post or this pipe that y'all,
Yeah.
I always had to call y'all about because it
Yes.
always leaks.
Android, they are the company, you call them, the Johnny on the spot, they come out, anytime TxDOT breaks our lines in the middle of the night or anything and the water loses pressure, that's our go-to guys, because they live in Lamarck and I'd rather keep money
Wow.
in
Yeah.
Lamarck.
Oh, they're
So.
Are those
and-
the ones with those machines that did the ditches?
Yes,
Yeah.
well, they do all kinds of stuff. Now, it just depends on if,
I don't know.
we'll talk to you later, Tanya, because you look mad. So it just depends because we got a lot of operators with a lot of ditches. So, a lot of digging experience. So, because you've got your 22 crew, they dig for water and sewer utilities.
Yeah.
Then you've got your street crew who digs for, they do digging to set culverts, they dig up the ditches, grade ditch, who's the other one? And then we have our contractors that come in, and then we have, heavy equipment operators and other departments. So that's, she shooting me that look, so I gotta find out what street we're talking about so I can tell you what's going on.
I know
Now,
there,
if you live on Hackberry,
that's the one I know is going
Okay.
on now.
if it's Hackberry, it will be clean before the end of the week. The contractors, they always leave a message. We always have to call them back out, but they're the only ones that respond. They're out of Houston. But they're the only ones that respond when we have an emergency situation. So with sewer overflowing everywhere all over the ground,
Yeah,
they were out like this. They mobilized and they relayed that entire street, sewer pipe, 2 manhole inserts within 2 days. I believe.
hey, what's good about that
They
street?
left the mess behind.
Yeah.
And we were told today, Thanksgiving's next week. Come clean your mess up. So
Yeah.
They
Rick
were
and I
look-
went and looked at it yesterday. So
They were lucky that it was all, I mean, they tore up all the yards, but they didn't have to tear up that street. You know, everything was inside the easement on the roadway and, you know, some of the other streets in the older part of town, they got to tear up the roadway and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and that's why we like using them, because they can pipe burst. They have the equipment and they have the experience to come in and pipe burst. So I do like using them. A great company. They've done most of our sewer repairs for the last 6-7 years. They're absolutely amazing.
Well, whoever's on my street, I'm very happy with them. And I was like, look, I don't care. And I'm pretty oblivious. So I just need answers from my husband. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna regrass everything. Okay.
Just have to stay on top of them because they'll forget. So just remind me, because you know, that's Texas Pride that came out, they did the Hackberry job and they left the yards a mess. And I've got people screaming at me. No, it's not.
Yeah.
You're Android. I've got people screaming at me. I was like, you want your toilets to flush, or you just,
Yeah.
you know, you want your yard clean? Which one? So
Yeah.
we're trying to get them back down here because they're on another job, but they said before the end of the week. You're Android though. They're goofy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're a fun bunch.
I was talking to them and they were like, oh, how do you have low water pressure? I said, not really. They're like, well, once we replace this, you're gonna have even better water pressure. I said, "Okay."
That's Android.
And then they
Yes.
Hey, let's move on.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to 6. We did A and we've already discussed B. So next one in order to be 6C would be to request about the
Water.
So water tax and home value.
yeah. And what he was saying 6, but I know what he's actually talking about 3. And it, yeah, and what he's talking about is that place tap in was there is down the fence line of the baseball field. Had 3 taps with the, you know, 1 pipe with double
Yeah,
spigots.
yeah.
And then since I've gone back and talked to him on the other side along tennis courts, add 1 additional one, and then that middle one doesn't work. It's dead for some reason. There's 2 over there
We turned it off.
for some reason.
Yes,
It's
that line
broken.
keeps popping.
Yeah, because that's another thing. It's broke right now and it's leaking. But but Joe, it broke when they was moving the
Driving
stuff.
another heavy
Yeah,
equipment over it. Okay.
And it's, I went out there just a while ago to check, make sure, but it broke right there. It was wet during the BioFest. And because, you know, I was out there every day watching them do that dirt work, and as they steamrolled it after the rain, it just pushed the water sideways.
Yeah,
So that's what I thought that was. And I just let it go. But then riding through the park, a few days later or a couple of weeks later, notice it's clear water there.
okay.
And so, but that's what they're asking is just add in a few more taps because that's where they put the restaurants at.
So I'll get with Rodney.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be
Yeah, he's
difficult to do.
like, like I say, the lines are there. They just ask them tap in, put one up and put a T and put two
Okay.
hose bibs and then,
We'll create a project request for it and then I'll probably have Rodney, you meet me and Rodney out there at the park just to,
because they came out to the, of course, they were Colleen's guests, but they came out to the Crawfish Bash. I mean, Biofest. So
Okay.
they seen how the cook-off was set up and he seen how the stage was because when they moved back out there this year, they put the stage
Yeah,
crossways
yeah.
and they saw how it was set up for us. And he's considering doing it there because we already laid that rock down. And he was asking, he asked me personally, he said, you think we get some more rock scooted over for our deal? I said, it'd be easier if you just move back our spot. And so he's considering that, I said, it's already there, I bring out more if we both can work on the same platform. And so then he saw how the cook teams were, because he used the cook-off space. They did a totally different setup. And so he's saw how ours was set up for the barbecue cook-off and he's gonna run with that format and kind of use our same spaces. So there was never an issue over there with water. They were happy with that. It was just the restaurants had and I know it's the Biofest, the one you were talking about, y'all shut down, the food trucks on this end, closest to the, what do you call it, chicken truck, the
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, those
Yeah.
two right behind there, they were asking, I was like, you don't have no choice. If you want water, I was like, you didn't bring water with you? Because they all have holding tanks. I was like, you got to go get you another hose. That's the only one. I'll put splitters there for you, but that's your only option. So that would kind of, putting them on that line would benefit both events.
Okay, yeah, I'll put in a project request and we'll pick a date and meet up out there and walk Rodney through it and show him what we
Okay.
need, so.
When
That
is
way we can
the
make the
crawfish
repairs.
bash? I'm sorry, when is it?
I think there's the
Okay.
first weekend in April, I believe.
I know it's between March and May. I
They're
just never
the
go.
both events are back to back this year. They have one in Hitchcock and they're literally back to back this year. They were a month apart last year, but the way kind of Easter's late or whatever, they're literally, I think the one in Hitchcock is the last weekend of March and the one in Lamarck is the first weekend in
Okay.
April. And then you got Easter and then our county fair starts because those two events work around the county fair. And they have to kind of, which they've already done it, they have to wait and see what the county fair dates are and Easter, and then they work around that.
Okay.
All right. So I had that question about the lights. I see the tree lights are working now. What was wrong with them last year? The Christmas tree at Figo Park.
Must you ask?
I mean, I wasn't seeing things. I went up numerous times.
There are major electrical issues
At the
at
park.
Walter Feigl.
Mm.
We call Crescent out every year. They install new GFIs, with the
little
the
covers.
boxes, and supposed to storm protect it, but ants is a major issue. They're telling us we need to bring the GFIs higher,
Mhm.
to keep the ants away. I've been doing this ever since I've been, in Public Works fighting about the electricity over there. Aragon said, do whatever it takes to get it off the
Yeah.
ground. So that was the issues with that last year. Plus the guy that did our contract last year was supposed to change out the bulbs and a lot of that didn't get done.
Yeah.
So we stayed on top of them this year to get it done. So right now it's not lit up like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because of the electrical. And I've spoken to Grady several times. Grady's another one, he's backed up, but I told him we have to meet next week.
It's lit.
We don't
It's lit
have a
now.
choice.
And
Some
the
of it's
trees lit
lit.
and then the little floodlights are lit and they got the boxes out there that I don't recall seeing last year. They might have been there, but
We put the boxes out every year. We don't put them there in front of the tree. We do it in the background.
I got you, yeah.
So I let the guys pick and choose what they want to do this year.
That look cute.
And
Yeah,
I think
it
they look
does.
better
Yeah,
this
yeah,
way.
no, it does,
We
it
weren't
does.
allowed to do it before, so all we gotta do is get the bows out of storage and add the bows on top of it,
Yeah.
the Christmas
They
bows.
look like little
But
friends.
it was Roy and Jermaine that picked the placement for the boxes this year. Much better,
Yeah,
much better.
and the
than what they've
light,
been doing.
they also, not only is the tree lit, they had the little floodlights there too, and the
Mhm.
floodlight spot.
It just lights it up. It just makes it look good.
All right.
So it just brings more life to the park right now. And then we'll put out the rest of the decorations, the closer we get to, the parade.
The parade.
Mhm.
Okay.
When is the parade?
The parade was December
December 7th.
7th at 6 o'clock.
And where is it? What is it? Go?
Right here at,
It finishes
on the
here.
other side of, the library where the Christmas tree is.
Mhm.
So we start out on Westward, 1765 and
Okay.
Westward.
Yeah.
The front of the parade starts out at Bobby Beach. Mayor and council will be there waiting in the parking lot to kick off the parade. They'll ride. I think all the walkers are in the front. And then everybody else rides behind the walkers. We kind of had them in the middle before, but we end up with a huge, because it's a long parade. If you drive that route, it's really long, believe it or not. And so the kids were getting tired and there'd be a huge separation in between all the floats and everything. So we put them in the front and we go at their pace.
Mhm.
And so that kicks off at 6 o'clock and they'll leave from Bobby Beach Stadium. They'll come down to, they'll come up this way and then they'll turn on Bayou. Now, all the floats go towards, the police station.
Mhm.
And there's a place over there that they can park and offload. The
Okay.
kids will, Greg, who's doing, free, what were we doing? We're just doing popcorn and hot cocoa this year.
Yes. popcorn.
So free hot popcorn and hot cocoa. The mayor's gonna do the lighting ceremony. Did we have singers this year? I can't remember if Sherilyn's group is coming out singing or not, but we have Brandon who plays Santa Claus every year. He takes pictures with kids and, he plays Santa, ask them what they want. I voted myself to be an elf this year, so y'all come out. This will be my first time.
So,
And do we do anything, do we participate as, I'm talking to us, as, do
I mean,
we?
we hadn't,
Okay.
years ago, Mac used to have a trailer
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about it a little bit and if I can always get Mac's trailer or, if we have he's got a 20-foot trailer I can get, which he's used in the past, but in the past few years, he's just been riding, his son's with the sheriff department and he's just been riding in but if
Okay.
you want,
We should.
if y'all don't want me
Yeah,
to
if y'all
do it, we
wanna
just
Get on a
get
float
together
ride
and
through
I can
represent the
build it
Parks
over.
Board.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
There, in order to do that, there's a form that you have to reach out to the chambers. You just fill out the form saying you want to be in the parade. And then you go from there.
Okay.
So I believe you can even, one person drive a truck and everybody just kind of sit in the bed and kind of wave if y'all can't get a trailer. So,
We could, do they throw the candy and are they doing that? So we could throw candy?
yeah, you can throw candy. The city is throwing candy, the light up rings, glow sticks, and the slap bracelets.
And, no, Santa Claus hand out candy canes, right? Or
Sa-
we hand out?
Santa hands out the candy canes over here. That's
Okay.
Brandon.
Okay.
And, but mayor and council throws out candy all throughout the parade route.
Huh.
So, y'all can throw out whatever you want, as long as it's nothing that our street sweeper can't pick up. So, because if it gets left on the street, and it's not picked up, the street sweeper's coming behind
Mhm.
after the parade route and just kind of cleaning up the street a little bit.
Mhm.
So, that's completely up to y'all, but just reach out to the chambers and fill out the application. It's quick, 2 seconds, just let them know you want to be in the parade.
Is that what y'all want us to do?
That's it. We had talked about it and that's what we were gonna discuss. If you want, y'all more than welcome to get,
Camera, you
Uh,
gonna get the form?
Yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of times y'all can go to,
Let's go to chambers and.
Yeah, no,
Online.
but a lot of times y'all can go to Mainland Tool, since you're a board and commission from the city, Mainland Tool will donate, if they have it available, they will donate a trailer to you for the day.
I got, Max got a 20-foot low boy
Okay.
that I have access to, and if we, if we decide to do something that big,
Since it's on seven,
clear
should
that
we
throat.
make,
I'm actually free on that weekend before.
can we have like set a budget to buy like candy and stuff?
We would buy it and just
Yeah,
turn in the
so-
sheet to you and you would take it out.
Yeah,
our
so
fund.
you buy it, somebody buys it, bring me the receipt, we make a motion, do we need to make a motion to reimburse that
I just wanna make
out of the
sure.
budget? Because it's being expensed out of the budget, so we would have to.
No, or either the budget or no, we take it out of our fund. There's
Well, that's
no-
what I'm saying. Anytime y'all spend money, y'all gotta make a motion.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'm sure
fine.
that's not an issue, but yeah.
So, yeah, well, yeah, just, that's not an issue. We'll get it taken care of.
So since normally we take Christmas off or December off, that obviously you're interested, would y'all want to work on it that weekend before?
I will.
Yeah.
I'm available that whole weekend. I'm only available that weekend. Then I got other stuff, commitments the rest of the month.
All right,
But,
go find a place to meet up and decorate the trailer and come up with a plan for, I think it's a great idea. I don't think we've really had, I don't know if the other boards have done a float before.
Yeah.
or-
So you were asking, I mean, I guess you're on the committee, parade committee. They don't like have I know it's all a long walk for the high school kids, but like when they get to the park, they don't do like carols or nothing like the choir.
We do every year. That's why I said, I don't know if Sherilyn has done it for the past several years. Her choir comes out and sings.
But is
I
that affiliated with the
don't-
high school directly? Like say the Marque High School Choir is what I'm referring to.
For some reason, we can't get them.
I got you.
We
I got you.
try every year.
I got you.
So, and since Texas City and Lamar are tied together, we try both.
To get them.
And
both,
so normally we find a local church that wants to come out here and
Okay.
sing and set up. But yes, that is the first thing we do every year is ask the schools first. Because they'll march, and on top of marching, we'll say, okay, y'all, you got your marching band, come, in the parade, but does your choir want to come out here and,
Mhm,
sing carols to everybody? So if all else fails, we discussed with Greg, Greg's got a speaker system and he'll be playing Christmas carols throughout if we don't
Okay.
have a caroling crew.
Okay.
So not unless Parks Board wants to go out there and sing.
Yeah, I don't wanna hear me sing.
Mm,
Y'all go caroling through the neighborhoods. We gotta make it festive, make it feel like Christmas.
Verano Pines is doing that. They have Verano Pines has a little caroling group.
Really. You never see that.
I thought Keep Lamar Beautiful Commission does that.
Well,
No,
same, well, the
the
one
vice-
lady
the
lives
vice
out there.
chair,
Oh,
And
okay.
that's her neighborhood.
That's her
though.
name,
Oh,
the
okay.
Herring or whatever.
Kathy Keith.
Yeah,
Okay.
Catherine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
that's her neighborhood.
What were you saying?
Who reaches out to, who would reach out to the choir at the high school?
The Chambers does. Chambers does every year.
I could go walk in there and say,
No, that's what I said. Paige and,
It was Jessica, but she's
Okay.
gone.
Jessica's gone?
Yeah.
I didn't know
She
that.
left November 1st.
Oh,
She left, but she was supposed to hang on till the golf tournament and the golf tournament got postponed a second time. And
Oh.
I seen on her page that she left. I was told at the BioFest that she would leave. And
Okay.
so
So-
I got emails from the Hispanic lady who's kind of
I
stepped
like
up.
her. I like her. She's funny.
so we
Um,
haven't, Patty hasn't got a chance to get the final, parade, information out. That's why no one, so everyone's behind everything right now. So,
Mhm.
that's
And the
why you-
chamber's all new, so they really
Right.
don't know what's going
So
on.
as far as posting and everything, once they get the final route to put on there, you're gonna see it everywhere.
I asked her, whatever the lady's name is, because she reached out to me about something else. And she goes, well, we have a meeting tomorrow. You want to be there? And I was like, I've never been part of that. I said, I can, but, and y'all have had multiple meetings already. It's like,
Yes, we've had. I
The
think
ball's
this
been
is the
dropped.
third Meeting within the last 2 or 3 weeks.
yeah. And
It's
so
just, everything's just last minute.
I always thought, I was thinking that myself, is since the school districts combined now under one city is like, it'd be nice because they do have them on separate days, like have a Marque band choir participate in theirs, and on the flip side, have Tech City's band
right,
participate in
every-
ours,
That's right, every year. The band will march, they'll come march. But as far as choir goes,
I'm trying
So
to-
do we have to make a motion to participate in the?
No.
Oh,
Or
okay.
fines, we don't, do we have to
Just
make a
on
motion
the-
for the reimbursement?
That's on the
so
back
we'll
end.
cover that. So once the receipt comes to me and I work it up for reimbursement, we'll put it on the next agenda to make a
Gotcha.
motion to approve the
Gotcha.
reimbursement.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
That's what we'll do.
gotcha,
Okay.
because we were kind of like,
Nah,
We should be good.
okay,
We should
cool.
be good.
all right, so that was 6D, so 6E, that's talking about the sign. We've been
Already talked about it, yeah. Billboard.
granted a lighted sign to be put out in front of Highland Bible Park. And been going through all the channels, and right now I'm at the point of requesting, it's a done deal. They told me they're gonna install and everything. All we have to do is make arrangements for the power to be hooked up.
Okay.
And I told them, well, we're looking at probably a couple of year project with the highway. So I got with the city engineer. He gave me the setback measurements. As long as we're back behind there,
That's what this is.
we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so Ron Hoover gave me a number to their lawyer, but it must have been a bad number because I hadn't been able to get through to him. And so I reached back out to Alex Getty, and one of the Hoover's sons, he gave me that email, and that's my next step is reach out to him. I'm sure they will, but just get permission from them for that setback because it was already there. We're just moving it back. And the sign company, like I say, it's total donation. They're providing the sign, the install and everything. It's just it'll be up to the city to set up the contract for the electric being done to it. And he said, the sign's gonna look good by itself. It'll look better lit at night, but we can just, he said they can install it. The electricity don't have to be hooked up right away, because then he didn't realize at the time about the highway right away coming through. And then, so once I informed him with that, he said, we can always get it installed for y'all. And then, because the utilities are gonna have to be moved back. And as the power company comes through and moves it back, then the city can work with them on a time frame as to add a transformer and a drop right there for us. But that was gifted to us, in memory from Mac. So that's what we got on that. E. Next is F. About, I don't know if she spoke to any of y'all, but today
She came.
she spoke to me about putting a park in her area. And she requested a lot that the city already owns. But I went by there and looked at it. It's probably, don't you live on or near Bellevue or no?
I used to live on Bill.
Okay. And she's talking about the lot in between Bellevue and Kansas. And it's very small. But she knows the city owns those lots.
Okay.
Okay. I met with Councilman Compion,
Mm-hmm.
and I had coffee with him. He introduced me to a guy from, he just moved here to Lamar. He's actually a consultant. He was a city manager for Miami Gardens. And he's well versed in the grants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we got to talking, brought up the school properties. He's versed in that, taking back school properties. He said there's conditions, it depends on who originally owned the property before the school got it, that the city could possibly take it over.
Are you just talking about the properties or properties with the playground equipment?
No,
on
well,
it?
what I'm talking about, I'm talking about either. So
So you're
she's
talking about where Lake Road Elementary. used
Lake
to
Road
be.
or West Lawn.
Yeah.
West Lawn is that, if you look at her
Because that
district.
would have been a perfect spot.
So,
instead of-
and I asked her, so,
Because they're expanding that cemetery as well.
Yeah.
well, I asked her in that meeting, because I had talked to Joe and this consulting guy like a day or two before. She was adamant we use that little park or that property. And I was like, So when I went there and I looked, because I wasn't familiar with the neighborhood. I
Yeah,
like Lake Road is 1 block away. And you got a huge piece
I
of
like
property
the
that we could
huge,
do
I like the huge,
over that little piece.
yes.
And then,
Closer
you
to
know-
the street and further away from inside the community.
And
Yeah.
I saw, but she was adamant. She liked that piece of property. I don't know why her reason was, but I was like, and then so I'm
No,
looking
it
on the
needs to be
map.
on the other side of
Probably
Kansas.
close.
I'm looking on the map. So
No, it's not. She
It's
doesn't
not.
even live that.
So I'm looking on the map. There's, 2 opportunities if this guy can capture either one,
Mm-hmm,
because West Lawn in her district is actually in the middle of her district.
mm-hmm.
Lake Road is on the extreme. I guess that's where the boundary is. But either one of them, I would much rather
You can
if we
do
could get
more
one of
with
those
that
school
open
properties,
space,
because
yeah.
they're so huge and we can do much more with them, because
Mhm.
and all those, the
It's
meetings that you heard
visible
of,
from the street.
but you can do so much more with it, dog parks,
Exactly,
walking trails and all
exactly,
that. It's
yeah,
much better
exactly.
than having another little
Mm-mm.
pocket park.
No, that was my only concern is where we would, and I don't think it should be embedded
Yeah.
into the district. I think where Lake Road used to be is the ideal place for it, because it's right there, it's open, the public
Mhm,
access, public can see it, people won't have any qualms about coming to the
Yes, yeah.
park and feeling safe.
So
Yeah.
They've got some playground equipment already on that property.
There's a
And it
little bit
doesn't
there.
Disturb the current.
It's right
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
exactly. It's right there.
Yeah, because I know, I mean, I live by Lagana, but that's still a little walking way, but if
Yeah.
I had a park that was just thrown on the empty lot on my street and then people started coming, I'd be a little annoyed just.
Yeah.
it would kind of be like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
it would kind of be
Yeah.
like another
And there's
MLK or
too
the
much
West Lawn
walk
Park.
traffic
Yeah.
That there's
past
not,
Kansas.
they're good for your little neighborhood, but
You're
it's
right.
not good for.
Hey, that's my
Beyond
area.
that.
It is.
I live 3 blocks. from
It
that.
is. It's
So-
too much walk traffic.
Anyway, so that's what she's asking. I'm gonna reach out to this guy, even if, maybe down the line, if we have to come out of our
Yeah.
out of our committee budget, ask him, could he work on it for us, or what
I
would you
think that's
charge
great.
to work on it?
Yeah,
To either get either property
Yeah.
with Lake Road being a priority, but like say, Westline would fall in. He said it depends on each part,
and West Lawn.
actually who owned the property before that. And, Tech City's gonna cash out on it. But if there's some kind of way we can assume it, because Tech City acquired it through the Marque, there might be an angle, and that's what that guy was working at. So there might be an angle where we can
Yeah, I like
work
that
to
better.
get one of these pieces of property. So that's something we'll move on forward with. The second part of that same issue is, would there, what would be an issue with, because I mean, the thing with Adura is real slow moving. And I know it's kind of under contract or whatever. Would it be an issue adding that part? Any part?
I thought that was brought up multiple times.
It was.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'll make sure it's in there.
I mean, she just brought it up to
Well,
us
she's
at that
been- She's
meeting.
been talking about it at a couple of meetings.
Yeah, no,
that they had.
but
But this is the first time she came to us.
But
I don't-
what I'm asking
I
is,
don't
we have a
think-
contract with Adura that's
Oh,
not on the original
So,
park
I
list.
think they said
So-
they would, though.
I don't think there's an issue. As you know, that's, again, it's all preliminary right now. That's what we're trying to
Mhm.
figure out, is
Yeah.
what we want, where we're going, what we're
Yeah.
doing. We still have a pocket park behind the new fire department that was
Yeah.
promised 6-7 years
Yeah,
ago, still
no.
hadn't,
Yeah,
nothing.
Is
Yeah.
that in the salt grass?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't see there being an issue with us adding another piece of property on there, since we're still just talking
Exactly.
preliminary.
Exactly.
I don't think it'd be an issue. And I think what you guys need to do is maybe make a motion. I don't know how that would work, or I really don't know, because she's the advocate for her
District.
district.
I mean, but it's also, they're still in her district though.
Right.
So it's not, she's just
So-
not getting the property
Yeah.
back that she wants.
I think in order for it to be recognized, maybe we make a motion for a recommendation to take to council to add her property in her district onto the Parks Master Plan. That's what needs to happen,
Okay.
is make a
Could we
motion for
word it,
that,
okay, could we word it where,
because it's not too late.
okay,
There's no dollars that's been,
yeah, and I follow that, but but
You can't take the other part.
word it of where, like you say, you just said her property.
so, right, so.
She
it's-
didn't mean
it was
her,
not her property,
literally.
Within her district.
Okay, that's what I'm
So-
kind of
In district,
clarifying,
just say District A.
because she specifically told me about one piece of property, and that's what I was trying to clear up.
No,
I'd
we
rather go to a
broaden
bigger
that
property.
scope.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe, let's just say this, because we know this is not something that's gonna happen overnight.
Correct.
No,
Why
it's
don't
not.
we invite Miss Yancy back to our next meeting and discuss this very thing that we've just discussed without her being here?
Okay.
So does she know that you have reached out to this
Yeah.
grant administrator and that, you know, you're looking at a bigger piece of property for her
Mhm.
versus this tiny little lot?
Well,
You
yeah,
know?
and based on what because that's what we're talking about is on our
Yes.
agenda, so we
So-
can take it back to
Yes,
her or
so
whatever
let's-
he needs
So
to
I'll
do.
make a motion.
Yes.
to
Cesar,
invite
Cesar Garcia.
Councilwoman Yancy back to our next meeting to discuss possible locations for. a
There you
hockey
go,
park
girl.
In her district.
That's right.
Second,
So,
yeah. Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we skipped. You
Yep.
deferred it to item G about the budget. You said you wanted to talk about when it was
Yes,
time.
so just to make everybody clear, because there's an issue when it comes to reading the financial reports, nobody really knows. They don't give you the correct information. So this tells you what your donation funds are. But when it talks about budget, you guys are never included. So in our system, y'all start out annually with $30,000.
Mhm.
Okay, and so this year y'all have 30,000 on top of, this is city funds, on top of your donation account of 53,000.
Correct.
Okay, so,
We have 83,000.
Kind
well, because it's split between,
of.
yes,
30.
Yeah.
We just work with 30.
yes.
with 50. So now my question was, the reason why I question that, okay, I understand what you're saying. So all the way up to, I know as I was attending all the budget workshops, the
Mhm.
two main things that were in the budget was 300 something thousand for the shoreline and maybe 60,000 for repairing the building. And then as things progress, they cut the 300,000. The last I heard, I didn't attend the final meeting or whatever. The 60,000 for the building repair was still in the budget. So it sound like what you're saying at the last meeting, they cut it.
You lost it.
Okay,
So that's the thing is that I tried to explain to Mac many times, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Now, let me call you back, okay?
We've budget crunched this year for every department. Every department has suffered this year, so, along with the boards and commissions. So, having 60 grand sitting out there, if you don't use it, it goes back into the general fund.
Correct.
So with that being said, they see, oh, they don't ever touch this money. We give it to them, utilize, they don't touch it. So there's your 30 grand this year instead of 60.
yeah, no,
So that's why it's very important for Parks Board to be a part of the budget when it is brought up and it's being discussed. Because this is y'all's time to shine and come to council and express your concerns for things that you want to pay for, that you would like to fix up or do things with the public outside of your donation account.
correct. And that's what I
So-
did on those meetings. And like I say, I knew the 300,000 got cut
But-
early on, but the
but,
60 I
yeah,
thought was in
they
there unless
can't-
you go all the way to the end.
They can't justify continuing to put that kind of money in the budget just to sit there when it can be utilized in the general fund in another
Yeah,
department.
well, there wasn't gonna be, it wasn't gonna sit. We just been waiting
I
on
know,
the approval.
I know, but they made a move. It, possibly could have brought it up as an issue last year, the year before, but They decided to make a move this year.
Mhm.
So my recommendation to you guys is spend the money, spend all of it, and request more for next year.
Well, okay, this 30,000. Let me clarify what that is. So is that whole 30,000 for us to spend as we choose?
So the way this goes, to my understanding, 30,000 is for parks improvements, okay?
Okay,
Your donation is for you to spend with the kids, do something with the kids, do
Correct,
public
correct, correct.
outreach. The 30,000, because you never, I know you were here, something is flying in my face. You were here back in the day when we had the issue going back and forth. You gentlemen, everybody was here. I think you and Miss
Yeah.
Tanya were not involved in this at the time. We had an issue with maintenance. So if it's something that you want to see put into the park, you want new, you pay for it.
correct.
If it's an existing structure that needs to be repaired, fixed, replaced, then it falls on Public Works to do. So, accountability, responsibility. So with that, they give y'all $30,000 to incorporate new things into the park outside of our budget.
Okay,
Our monthly updates, these, just to, have you repeat yourself again. These are for outreach stuff to do community
You
wide.
can do whatever you
we
want
can do,
with that
that's our
budget.
money, do it as
Okay.
what we see
It's,
fit.
if y'all make a motion, y'all spend that money however y'all want. But the reason why y'all have two separate line items to charge to is because one was to implement new things into the parks. The donations is to do outreach for the community, for the kids, or improve the parks as well,
Mhm.
put new equipment into the parks.
Mhm.
So, but the city gives you a budget of 30,000 to spend
Okay,
Gotcha.
well, that
on
was
top
my,
of your donation budget.
okay, so my question on 30,000 was, so that's pretty much ours to spend as we see fit. The maintenance part, talking about the lawn care, doesn't come out as 30,000?
No,
Okay, good.
no,
So-
that comes out of my.
Okay, okay.
That comes out of me.
So,
We pay for that.
all right, so now that's clear, we all know we got 30,000 to spend.
Ms. Tanya,
You may have more.
you had your hand raised. I'm sorry, I kept talking.
I thought she fell asleep.
Okay, no, I was gathering my thoughts. So the 30,000 is for us to do whatever we want to do, and the donations is supposed to be used for community service
Or.
that we
things
don't want to do, or other stuff related to fixing the park, but that's what the $30,000 is
Yes,
for.
and that's the reason why the 30,000 is listed as parks improvements. So to
Something new
do
to the park.
something inside the park, it could be install a couple of benches, anything, whatever y'all want to do, paint something. That's mainly what that's for.
That's,
If you want to
we
incorporate
discuss, we
something.
get together and discuss.
Yeah.
And then this budget is however y'all want to spend it. But the difference, the reason why there's a difference in between the two is because outreach,
Mhm.
community, public outreach. So,
But if we blow through the 30 and we still need more funds, that's
Yes.
when we can tap in for this budget.
you can,
for
yes, absolutely. You can say, I want to pull this out of the Parks Improvement account, or I want to pull it from the donation. So that's the thing is, but it has to be decided amongst y'all as a group of how y'all are going to spend that money, or where you're going to spend it, what you're going to put it towards.
And I've asked this question before, so do we as a park board have line items?
Not right now, we
Okay.
don't. So now it's a new budget
Okay.
year and everything else.
Okay.
It's,
Okay.
kind of went long on this meeting is over the holidays, 30,000 don't go far.
Oh, of
And-
course
and
not, with a lot of the
see,
things
the,
that
like,
have to happen.
Just one of those little, I don't know what you call it, the
It's
full play
30,000.
structure,
It's
you know,
30,000.
that burning
Well,
No,
30,000
and that's,
dollars.
it don't just have to be just that. And
We
that's,
know.
that's why, y'all are a crew, y'all are a group, y'all come together and see, it don't have to be just one thing. It can be something that you incorporate. It could be park signs, it could, whatever.
Mhm.
You know, it's y'all to come up with the creative thinking and creative ways and to spend this money. And it's my responsibility to make sure that we stay on top of that and get it knocked out.
So let me ask you this, if, could we use that money or a portion of it to say improve the lighting over there at,
Parks,
Mahan Park.
yes, parks improvements, yes.
so.
So
Something to look at that.
if you're gonna add new lighting, you're talking about at Mahan Park
Yeah.
for the baseball.
Either new or patch it up, whatever, you know.
That's a huge issue. I mean,
Would we have a better understanding once we get the finance people here? Is that gonna help us?
No, she would know about,
Oh, okay.
talking about the lighting and stuff, she would
Yeah.
know about that. She knows.
we
the
got,
finance.
we have major issues. We paid Crescent Electric to come out several years ago when it was under contract,
The baseball
and
guys.
Benavides. They separated everything and put everything on its own separate meter. That way
baseball
we can
fields
hold them
versus the football
accountable
field.
for their usage of the electricity. Something is not hooked up, something's not wired right. And we met with Texas, New Mexico and Grady out there and still nothing was resolved. So we still can't get lights out there. The city still don't have lights out there. So it's gonna we're gonna end up having to have a come to Jesus meeting about lighting at Mahan. And pull Texas, New Mexico and Crescent back in the same room together again and say, what's the issue? How much are we looking at? That's why I was looking forward to, it's not my call, it's my recommendation. Looking forward to the Parks Master Plan to cover this because it is extremely expensive to fix up just what's there, just to be able to play on it.
Okay, another question. We still have that extra $2 fee, right? Just kind of floating in no man's
That's being
land?
held for master grant.
Okay, but we can't if.
No, they said
Okay.
don't because it affects your credit rating.
Okay, okay.
And-
I never.
and
I
so-
mean, I know we asked. but I
Okay,
never got
in
the
one of the
answer.
budget meetings, just for example,
Uh-huh,
some of the grants, some grants are free.
yeah.
If you get the private grants,
No, no, I got it.
but
Once you said that, yeah.
most of the
You gotta have.
municipal grants or government grants are a matching fund.
Yes.
Say, for instance, 10%, I think is the number they were throwing around. Okay. I think Adura just come up with a
30%.
they were just saying, for instance, to do, it was almost like $1 million. In Tink's master plan, he wanted to bulkhead the whole lake. That's like $1 million just for that.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So he just throwed a rough estimate out of $3.5 million to upgrade all the parks. Okay, 10% of that is 350,000. Even with that 2%, we're not there yet.
Right.
We're over 200,000, 250,000 close, but we're not at 350
Gotcha,
to
gotcha,
meet
gotcha.
that minimum.
Gotcha.
So that's why, and
Yeah,
they said if
because
we,
I know Mac was asking, but I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
ever
why.
Yeah.
catch
Mess with it.
the
It's
answer.
going on
but
there.
Susie said, they said if we borrow from it, supposedly the creditors look at that. If we
Yes.
borrow from it, it affects our credit rating.
Yes.
Yeah,
It does not like
And
that.
so that's why we don't want to touch it.
gotcha. Gotcha.
And we needed to get to, apparently we needed to get to at
The
least
minimum.
$350,000 and we're maybe around 250 right now. It's got to grow at least another 100,000 to put us in the green. Otherwise city would have to budget.
What's that?
I'm not even sure if they're even still, I mean, y'all live in Lamarck, are y'all still getting charged the $2 park user fee? Because I thought council did away with that.
It's still on.
It's still on
the
there.
It
bill.
is still on there?
I mean, because
Okay.
in the budget meetings,
There was a huge ordeal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they used to be, you could knock it off if you wanted to.
No, not this
No,
one.
that was the donation.
Donation.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the
That
I
other
thought-
$2,
T
it's still on the
implemented
bill.
the $2 park user fee
Yeah.
that was automatic. You
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
pay it.
I thought it was still on there.
And so I need to find out about that. I'm
Yeah, I thought it
curious
was still
now.
on there because, I mean, when I talked to
'Cause
Mayor
was a
Bell
huge
about it,
ordeal, And Mayor
Yeah.
Bell was talking about removing it.
well,
removing the
I
fee.
guess,
That's the only way we can gain the money to pay for, unless the city's just gonna come out of pocket out of our capital, our
Yeah.
general fund.
because during them budget talks, I was in agreement with him and when they spoke to me that one day or asked me to speak, you know, I understand people are wanting to see what that money's doing,
Right.
but they don't realize how much, you know, how much it's gonna cost and then how much we have to match funds. So when I spoke to him then, I was in agreement with the $2, still moving forward with the $2 because it was talking about you know, I was told we'd possibly need $350,000 to match. And last I heard, it was still gonna go on.
And plus, on top of it, as long as we keep that implemented, that creates a separate budget. Once everything's said and done, all the new parks are in, it generates a budget that we pull funds from for maintenance and upkeep. That'll be constant 24/7, and it'll also pay for the crew to maintain just that. So that was his general idea when he shot the plan to everybody. A lot of people just didn't understand why they were having to pay the $2 fee. Plus, you know, there's a donation fee out there. I mean, $3. You got to pay for improvements if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in Texas City. My taxes go up all the time, but I see where my money goes. And, you know, Texas City's got a better head because they've got the plants behind them. We don't have that. So we have to come up with ways of coming up with these funds, generating these funds.
You know what the plants do though? Funding and donations.
Yes.
And things like that. That is
Yes.
so underutilized because my dad's a career plant worker. I mean, he's a good for nothing because every time I ask him for help, with that
Yeah.
specifically, he's like, I don't know who to talk to.
And that's the thing too,
The
is.
chamber
is,
Can
um,
put you in
The
contact with anybody.
plants will also donate to us, and we just have to know who to reach out to, you know, have a specific goal in mind, and work with them, because they have millions of dollars. And they have
money
so much of it, they
allocated.
gotta get rid of. It's a tax
They
write-off.
pay for that.
And so you say
Walkway.
youth community outreach, they'll throw money at you. You just gotta know who the people are. And it starts by communication, talking, getting out there, getting to know people. And that's, you know, and it saves your budget money. It saves our budget money. You know, why spend money when we don't have to, when there's just free money sitting out there? You just gotta be smart enough to grab it, you
And
know?
that would be just a matter of reaching out to the chamber.
That's it.
Chamber has contact with everybody.
Absolutely, and I never thought about that, but you're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Never thought about.
'Cause I've
utilizing
actually-
it for that.
and these businesses do have community relations
Mhm.
departments. You can call and they'll give you who you need to speak with.
Yep.
And how you need to get whatever it is we're trying to do.
That's right, because BP, they have funds, you have to get in at just the right time,
Yeah.
because they have a certain amount of months that they give funds out for youth outreach. Because we used to be on the Texas City Little League, I was a board member, and my cousin was over that for BP for many, many years. And so he would always have BP fund the Texas City Little League and pay for everything. They paid for the baseball bats, the baseballs, everything. BP paid for all that.
Cool, guess who I'm calling next week?
Right? You know, and so
I'll
it's
pay.
just a matter of getting to them
I like
within
this
that
one.
window, because they have a certain window where they give money out, you know, it's
Maybe we
finding
can
that out.
reach out to Paige, who's the president,
Mhm.
and see if she can put us in contact with all the 4 or 5 major ones and maybe see if they can grant us
Dow's
50,
got a
100,000 to work on Mayhem Park.
Dow has a pipeline that runs through Lamar. Dow should be giving Lamar money
Yeah.
for community outreach. Dow popped one of our lines the day before yesterday, and we had to go out there and repair it. So I know for a fact Dow has pipelines that run through Lamar. They should be giving
Yeah,
us
that, because it goes from
something
that
towards
plant,
the
Yeah.
kids.
that's
for the
on that
community.
pipeline highway that goes behind the park.
Yep.
Um,
So that's why I said, it's there. You just gotta know who to reach out to and who to talk to.
Okay, there was something else I was gonna bring up, but I'm brain for it now. There was something in old business. Oh, heck. Anyway, all right, well, I guess we move on to the next Parks meeting. I'm showing January. Are we in agreement to skip December like we
Yeah.
normally do?
Yeah.
And then, so I'm showing January 20th of 2022 will be our next meeting.
Sounds good.
We got to do a motion.
Before
for
we,
that.
before we close this meeting, for Mac's film,
Mhm.
when Mac expired, I took it and went and bought a pot plant that was submitted from the
Mhm.
City of Lamar Park Board. I had it in my pocket, but I changed shirts. Came to the meeting. I've got I think I paid $85 for that. It's a great big pot plant. And I think I paid $85 or $87 for that plant. I'd like to get reimbursed.
So do we need to make a motion to pay that?
We have to put it on the next agenda, but yes. Go ahead and get with me about your receipt.
I'll bring it to you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
I'll bring it in.
Most through, we on the last item.
Yeah.
On the last item.
But
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and turn it in tomorrow. If y'all are fine, we'll reimburse it, but we'll make a motion on it during
Yeah,
the next
that's no
meeting.
problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it was. Since I wasn't invited to that one meeting is, and I'm sure both of y'all were there, what kind of feedback did you get on the Bow Fest from the city and the chamber?
Yeah. Oh, we did. Yeah, Colleen came in, put her input in and left. Basically, old talent, old, well-known talent brings the crowd, is what she said. I don't think that's the case. We threw it together in 11 weeks.
Country.
That's what they believe.
Well-known music.
If
I
she
know.
would, that's why I feel I wasn't asked, because I would have been a critic of her choices. When we sat there and had that budget meeting and I talked to council, I was like, we've already proven you can spend 75 to 100,000 on big name acts and they don't draw no more than local. And I was like, I recommend you getting local acts. And she told me she goes to a booking agency. It's easier for her.
So, yes, and Alex used to too, before he had Colleen. I used to assist Alex, financially. So I think overall, everybody said it was a great turnout. It was great. It was a small, great turnout. I think, because, we do this for months and months. We plan almost soon as soon as January comes
Right.
around, we're already planning for the new Bayou Fest. This one we threw together
Yeah.
in 10, 11 weeks time. So it didn't have the publication or the outreach, just the promotion for it like we do every year. I think it would have been better if we'd have changed the lineup for the music. They were drunk by our
Yeah, but
main thing.
Mark
is
Chestnut had to
drunk
be
with-
escorted on the stage and he was drunk.
I know, but they just, people didn't.
I think her
people
issue
didn't like
was
them. People
didn't know the bands. When I sat there and listened to them, I don't know if y'all did.
Well, the first two had everybody
And-
moving and grooving.
But yeah, and the second one, they're rock and blues band. Most of them guys live like that. I get that. But the actual music I thought was all right. What hurt us was she went out of county when I specifically discussed it to the city council and they were in agreement. Get bands locally out of Galveston County. Look what all these other festivals have used. And she gets bands from Austin and one band from Houston.
Right.
And I told them, I said, look on social media. They're asking on social media, who are these bands? We don't know them.
Well, once the Mighty Orc and Brown Sugar got there and started playing, they pulled the crowd in.
Yeah,
By the time the Northern Lights got up there,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had about 50 people.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. But
I, for one, I'm just gonna say this because I was out there,
mhm,
I lived out there for a week and a half
yeah, you always
prior to the
do.
event. I only remember shaking my ass walking through the field because I don't know if it was the Mighty Orc or Brown Sugar, but I was on the job and I was dancing and they kept me going. So I'm just, they were playing good upbeat music that just kept the crowd, and because it just got, at one point, I didn't have nothing to do.
Well, yeah.
I've never, ever done that at Bayou Fest before. I actually had 2 hours to sit down. And go,
Wow.
what am I gonna do? But the music just kept it interesting because it started dying down in the midday. And once they started singing, people was like, hey, who's up there? You know, and so the crowd started coming back in.
Well, I heard it, one of her things she said is, we gotta have country music. I was like, I don't think you have to. Again, I think the mistake was she hired through this booking agency, people that they're good bands or whatever, but they weren't from around here. Come to find out, 2 of the bands that the council and the mayor requested were originally booked, but came open. And, you know, one of them is the Mambo Jazz Kings, which everybody likes. And to me, and I've known that band for a long time, they were a much better band than Brown Sugar.
Right, but it depends on who we could get, who's not already booked up, who was available at last minute request. So, I mean, I thought the first 2 were great.
Yeah.
The last one, not so much so. I don't know who they are. I've never heard of. I never heard of.
He's
none
out,
of
he's
them.
a
I've heard of
blues.
Brown Sugar.
Yeah, he's
But the
out
other
of
ones I
Austin.
did, but that's what you need is you gotta reach out and, you know, touch everybody with the music.
Yeah.
It's just that last
Was
one
there,
was kind of a downer.
I think, well, so outside of music, you got a head on now? Yeah, I understand.
I'll drop you home.
So like I heard from other people, the only other kind of negative thing was, really wasn't negative, but the expense, it was like overdone, was the transportation.
Yes.
But that's a damn if you do, damn if you don't.
That's right. And so
And I
we just
understand
chalked it
that.
up to, it was a loss this year, but it's never been a loss in the
Yeah.
prior years before. So we just didn't know what we were up against.
Yeah, but everything else, I mean, the rock worked out perfect.
Yeah.
I think I heard that the fishing tournament was down a little bit. That's what I heard.
I don't know.
But it seemed like the pumpkin thing
The pumpkins, they were overwhelmed.
and the mutton busting was too.
Yes. So probably more
So
pumpkins
those
next
were-
year.
I was
Yes.
like, man, I looked and watched that crowd. I was like, man, we put those even bigger bleachers over there. I was like, man, we gotta have more bleachers. I was totally floored at that. But anyway, that's what maybe, you know, moving forward, we could you know, because y'all are all part of it. I am part of that BioFest committee over there.
Yes.
We can talk to Alex and Lily create an entertainment group that
That's
works
already being
together
discussed. So,
instead of just him.
That's been suggested. I think by a few council members, as well as some administration employees. That's part of that is having either everybody has say so. It shouldn't just be up to 1 or 2.
Exactly. It's been
So,
trying to do that.
I think that's gonna change.
I mean, I've been to pretty much all the big festivals, either part of them or behind the scenes of them. And, you know, diversifying music is one thing. And I tell you, you know, like I heard she made a statement about country music's where it's at for barbecue festivals and stuff. And all the festivals I've been to that have had,
Just advertising.
you want to refer to it as Tejano night, but you know, Hispanic music, because it's all kind of genres. Mosquito Fest, Alva Music Fest, Brazoria County, Galveston County. That's their biggest draw.
Right, right.
And, you know, if they incorporate that, you know, if the budget comes back good, I know Councilman Carlson even spoke about, since the stage is there, let's do something on Friday night. And, again, I know at all these other festivals that it's Tejano night is their biggest draw, double everybody else, even name brand country bands and stuff, you know. It's crazy what.
I mean, even if you have all kinds of bands, 5 different bands paying different stuff, all that one night, you know, advertise Tejano, blues, jazz.
That's that kind of gets hard on the stage. The stage is barely good for like 3.
Stuff out, but Again, I don't think it has anything to do a little bit. It's all about advertising.
Mm.
You know, let people know what's going on. Let them know in advance. Keep throwing it in their face every time you look on Facebook. Boom, Marque, Bayou Fest. It draws them in. It's not so much the talent.
No, I agree. So when she first announced those bands, I went on social media, went and looked at their followers. Those bands that had no great followers. You know, they didn't have, 15, 20,000 or even more. Only one, and you compare them to Hamilton Lumens, he's got a ton,
Well, you got to look at it this way, Rock. I've been here 16 years. We've had great Bayou Fest. This was the smallest one I've ever witnessed in the time that I've been
Mhm.
here.
I'm with you.
You're gonna have your good, you're gonna have your bad.
Mhm.
She's not here anymore. There's gonna be changes with all new admins. So
Mhm.
with being able to have several months to plan for this upcoming Bayou Fest, instead of throwing everything together in
Yeah,
7
yeah.
weeks, I expect a better turnout. So
Mhm.
I think it's just it's a one step up, and it should, we just have to take it as loss and take it for what it is.
Okay.
It wasn't an impressive Bayou Fest, but it was something. Some people were happy, some people weren't. It's always gonna be that way.
Yeah.
But it was a bad year, it was a bad time, and a quick throw together.
Yeah.
But I don't think we did too terrible
If y'all
for,
wanna leave,
even including talent, I don't think we did too terrible for 11.
we can close it up.
Yeah,
I don't think we did. So, but having almost 8-9 months to plan it this upcoming
He
year,
said
Mhm.
before
Bigger
we
and better.
close.
okay.
that's what the goal always is, bigger and better.
All right, Coach Walker, you still there with us?
Yep, I'm writing a note here. I got to go pick up my grandson.
He's gonna put it up in front of the screen, be back in 5 minutes.
You got anything you'd like to add, sir?
I'd just like to say, hey, thanks to everybody for the prayers and everything while I was kind of incapacitated. I had a doctor, my follow-up this day, got a good report on my surgeries, both of them. And
Great.
hey, I'm making my way back.
Great.
Thank Jesus.
All right. Tanya, Miss Tanya, what you have?
I make a motion.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mac is truly missed today. And I'm just excited about the park master plan and anything else that we're working on with the Parks Board.
Mhm. Bo, how
Praying
about
for
you?
my city.
Let's keep doing what we're doing. I appreciate the 2 ladies over there. It looks like a man to stay busy, so.
Oh, yeah, she does.
We want to keep her in our circle.
I'm trying, but it's Miss Vanessa that's working between 2 different departments. I'm in my department playing many roles, but she's
She's-
playing many roles between 2 different departments right now. So how she's managed to stay sane, I don't know.
I won't tell you, that's a secret.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, now you just
I
throwed
just
it out
hope the
there. Now you just
reward
throwed it
is
out there.
great in the end.
You can't just throw out there like that and not tell us.
It's that late night glass of wine. But no, we appreciate you guys, it's just, we miss Mac. It's been tough. But we come together and we make it work. That's what we do.
Yeah. Let's keep.
Yeah, he wants to.
Just want to say congratulations, Rock, and ladies, y'all keep on doing what y'all doing, keep us in line, and I want to say, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays,
Absolutely.
Christmas, to everybody.
Absolutely.
Same to
All right.
y'all.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, I'm just gonna announce, I'm gonna be a grandma. Did I tell y'all?
Oh, is that what she was gonna
Say
say?
something else.
I'm gonna.
Thought you were gonna say Benicia gonna have another one.
Oh, no. No, you thought I was announcing I was about to leave?
Oh, that wouldn't have been a
holiday,
surprise.
Coach.
Like what else is
Announced
it?
me, I've got 4.5 years to go.
No, we do allow. We allow.
Before y'all leave, I handed out those, the appreciation night.
Right.
Please respond back to city clerk at that
Yes.
number.
Oh,
Where's it gonna be at?
I want to make it known that I did reach out to y'all and let y'all know, because it's all about y'all.
Where's this gonna be at?
Okay.
Where's it gonna be held at?
The fire
Saltgrass.
department, Central Fire Station.
Okay.
Saltgrass.
Five-
I miss that, or it's not
I
on
don't think
there.
it's on.
It's
there.
not.
No,
It
it's
is on
not,
there.
but that's
It's not
where
on
it's
there.
at.
Yeah, it's not on there.
750 Saltgrass?
Nope.
Nope.
It's not.
You might have cut it off.
Yeah.
Cameron, can you drop me off?
Sure.
Okay.
I make a motion that this meeting be adjourned.
Adjourn. Somebody second?
Great job tonight,
All in
Rob.
favor? Aye.
Great
I.
job tonight.
Bo, hold on. Well, cause you're going with her, Bo,
I'm trying to go to sleep.
I know, but,
I'm trying to go watch football and eat.
I have Bo's number. I don't have yours.
Okay.
Is especially because I still always remember about your grandson. If we get this float together,
Do what